secrets. I know the one that cuts the deepest. You're gonna be broken in pieces. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, you can run but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave you're digging out. When the truth comes out, yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Life crumble down when the truth comes out. Once you pull the trigger, you can't put the bullet back in the gun. Once you light the fuse, you know all that you can do is run. 'Cause so many people know your secrets. I know the one that cuts the deepest. You're gonna be broken in pieces. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, you can run but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave you're digging out. When the truth comes out, yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Life crumble down when the truth comes out. Life crumble down when the truth comes out. You can try to cover up the lies, but I know the truth. Yeah. You can hide in darkness, but the light will find its way through. Yeah. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, you can run but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave you're digging out. When the truth comes out.
Everyone tap and share. Yes, Spencer. Everybody tap and share the screen. We're going to wait until 5. There's 5,000 people registered for this event. Everybody tap and share. We're going to wait for everybody to get their notifications in 5 minutes. Country Boy, Loyalty, Vicky, Jeremy Swick, Monarch, Ben Bryant, Monarch. Moderators on the door. No troll accounts tonight. Wildly Wicked, Georgia Peaches, Miss Bella Blue, Marmar, Twisted, Midwest, Kelly, Kelwell, Yvonne. Everybody tap and share. I have turned all the gifts off since everybody thinks that it's a money grab and I just poke my nose into all this. Okay? Gifts are off, all right? There won't be no moment where, I say, hey, if you guys are just in here hanging out, go ahead and drop a heart me. No, don't drop me shit tonight. Okay? You guys can drop it tomorrow when I get my other account that they tried to mass report today back. Okay? Brooklyn, box of wine. Freaking Rick. Everybody tap and share. Don Johnson, share it to everybody's Discord. Stacy, finding me again. Tap the screen. 1,000,000 likes pushes it out to more people. You got 3 minutes with this many people. It should be easy. Everybody just tap the screen. Sadly, I will never battle that guy again. Inked Up, Anna's. Inked Up, Pickle Pebble, Denise, Brittany, Kim, Ashley, Jenny. Everybody just keep tapping and sharing the screen. Brittany, Mr. Crumbs, Ashley, Panda, Crystal, Brinson, Curly, your mom's husband, Ashbug, Celeste. Purple hearts in the chat, please. Ashley, Kimmy, Girl Mommy, Chadley, what's up, big dog? Michelle, Miss K, Fawn, Brooke, Jake Paul, what up, big dog? Texan J, Linda, thank you for that. Everybody tap and share. Kelsey, Tanya, Rissa, Pam, Tatted Yeet Queen. I need everybody to know. We've already heard one creator say that he's gonna try to stream the live and get it banned for his buddy. Should that happen, you guys can see me over here, okay? Just type in AllMoney and click the live button. I'll be live somewhere. I'll give it about 5 minutes to win the appeal. I have sent this live to TikTok. I have informed them what I'm gonna do. We should be okay. But if it does, and they mess with the algorithm or they get past the AI stuff, this right here is where we'll be. All right, on Mr. Money to You. Matt, Chris, Wildly Wicked, Trudy, Pegarella, we are on 18 plus. Nana, Jenny, Pappy, Untamed. Yes, the gifts are off. So much for it being a money grab, right? Arkansas, you can't even send me a heart me. I don't even want your heart me's. I want your ears tonight. I want your ears, your eyes, and your common sense. All right, you've been getting told for 2 days that I'm gonna do a bunch of talking and stuff, right? That's what you guys have been getting said. I'm gonna do a bunch of talking. I'm gonna tell you some stuff that I heard, right? Right? Pretty much. Now, isn't that what it's been saying? Some of it's gonna be true, some of it's not gonna be true, right? As if I ever just come on here. I know, not yet, Mama Leandra. All right? So we're gonna let the room fill up, let everybody get in here. Actually, I won't be doing that much talking at all, okay? And a lot of people have been trying to cover it and twist this narrative that it's about child support, stuff like that. And wondering why would AllMoney get himself involved in some child support or some good father type stuff, right? I wouldn't. Custody cases and stuff like that should be primarily between the custodial parents and stuff like that. I mean, unless I would definitely get involved if, like, you know, I heard of a child being abused or something like that, you know what I mean? But no, I wouldn't get involved in somebody who wants to show up and try so hard to show up. Here's what I do get involved in. I get involved when a creator who has a platform tries to suppress the truth of somebody who doesn't have a platform. Okay? A lot of you guys been told a story these last 2 days about, you know, this is just optics and I'm being vulnerable and all this other stuff you're fucking hearing. Okay? And I'm not a politician. A whole bunch of shit that's fucking just word soup. Okay? Word soup to make you think that this is about a man trying to show up for his kid and a bitter baby mama, right? That won't let him. Correct? Well, we're gonna get into that after, okay? And you guys need to really use your common sense tonight. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you a white remote is black and the sky is purple, okay? You're going to figure it out for yourself, and you're going to come to your own conclusions. Tonight, you're going to hear a story because somebody has been denied that right. Somebody has been bullied into being silent. And that's what we don't tolerate over here, especially with issues that are very severe. This is not about kids or why they don't want to see each other or showing up for your children. This is about a victim of domestic violence, SA, mental abuse, protecting her child, trying her best to co-parent, while somebody fucking narcissistically manipulates the situation, uses his children to get coins. That's what this is about. And we're not gonna talk a lot, especially not me. Somebody else is. Turn the comments off. BG, can you make my boxes a little bit bigger? 1 second, we're gonna switch it to where we're side by side, okay, Miss Kate? Mm-hmm. You guys don't have to turn your camera. There we go. Oh, look at that stud muffin. What's up, big dog?
Hey, AllMoney.
How you doing, man?
Look, hey, before we even get started, man, just want to appreciate. It's really refreshing to hear how accurately you've picked up on things. I don't know what you're hearing from the other side, but man, it just like, I mean, we're like, it's nice to hear that we're heard.
You are heard, and you're gonna be heard by a lot of people tonight. I think that somebody has been trying to not let you be heard, okay? And we don't like that around here, okay? We have some multiple people. Listen, before we start, Miss Kate, okay? I'm not gonna do a lot of talking, as I promised, or like the other guy was saying I was gonna do. It's your story, okay? You have the spotlight, okay? Every person that has ever been through any type of trauma deserves a right and a platform to tell her truth, especially when one side's the only one being heard, okay? And then if I interrupt you, it'll be just to show proof of something, okay? And then when you're done, then we'll get into some other stuff, okay? So you can start from the very beginning. How'd you meet Jimmy?
So, I'd really like to start, I think, by just making it clear that I didn't start this, that I'm responding to it.
Yeah.
I've been asking for a really long time for comments about the divorce, narratives about our relationship to be left offline. And after 5 years of having to just swallow a tough pill of it all being out there from one perspective, because I am not a personality that likes to come online and talk about this stuff because it is traumatic for me. I got pushed to a breaking point, and I asked him to no longer talk about it, and 2 hours later he was. So,
Which, by the way, at the end of her story, I will show you with proof that she has asked him multiple times to stop off of this app, to which he doesn't. Please continue.
so I actually wrote a little something, if that's okay, just to like help me like
Yeah.
get through everything. We met back in like 2015. And I was fresh off of a breakup, and I was dating a couple people at the time, and him and I got set up, and I was actually really not interested in him. But he was giving me a lot of attention. I would say, looking back at it retrospectively, that I was really being love bombed. and that he was giving me a lot of the attention, a lot of the compliments, a lot of the showing up that I had been looking for in previous relationships that I had not received, and he was willing to give me.
Yeah.
We were married in 2016 and we had our daughter later that year. There were a lot of red flags in the beginning, but I was naive and I overlooked them. And once I became pregnant, that's really when the emotional and mental damage started.
Okay.
I was constantly accused of cheating on him. He would use that fact that I was dating a couple of people when him and I first met, before we became exclusive, as part of his narrative to feed his own insecurities, and to excuse all of his behavior.
Okay.
He actually denied that our daughter was his biologically until after she was 6 months old, and when he performed a DNA test behind my back, because he believed that I was a cheater and that she wasn't his.
Okay.
I was so desperate to prove that I wasn't these things that he had accused me of that I started sacrificing little pieces of myself in order to prove to him that I wasn't a liar. And I
Like, what
let
do
a
you
lot of things slide.
mean?
That like nowadays I would never let somebody treat me or do those things to me.
Like what?
Like going through my phone, tracking my location. By the end of our marriage, he had cloned my phone, put cameras in our home to watch me 24 hours a day.
But like one of those spy app thingies?
I'm not too sure exactly what the app was, but I had to
Yeah.
completely get rid of my phone, go to Verizon, like delete. I had to get a brand new phone number, a brand new account. I had to cancel everything, because by the end of our marriage, he was spending hours a day going through my phone, going through my messages, going through my pictures, going through my search history. He would reach out to contacts in my phone from like when I was in high school and pretend to be me to see if I was cheating on him with these random people I hadn't spoken to in a decade.
Yeah. A
And
lot like social media and stuff. Is that included too? Like going through your social medias, or was he ever logged into your social medias or anything?
oh, he had access to every password, every account. He created a child account for my Facebook Messenger, so that way he was the parental figure on the account,
Okay.
so that he could see all the messages coming in. One big question that has been asked of me by friends and family, over the years was, why didn't you report it? Why didn't you leave sooner? And like I said, in the situation that I was in, when I have somebody who sees every single thing that I'm doing,
Yeah.
there was no safe place or safe way for me to get help, take photographs, to
Yeah.
search help options, because he had access to everything, and anything that I did was an excuse for him to start a fight
Yeah.
and to control the situation,
Yeah.
control me as a person.
Yeah.
He would watch me from the parking lot while I was at work to see if I exited the building, if my location was bouncing between Wi-Fis, and calling me all hours of the day and the night, making me give him a tour of wherever I was to prove that I was being honest to him. And like I said, it always revolved around this allegation of me cheating on him,
Yeah.
which I never cheated on him. I never emotionally cheated on him, physically cheated on him. There was zero cheating.
Which, even if I could just say, that's no excuse for any of the behavior.
At all. At all. It's very,
If
very toxic and
if
stalkerish.
infidelity is an issue, really, then the relationship should just end. That's not an excuse for violence or any of this emotional manipulation that happened.
But
And for the chat, before she continues, that is another piece that Jimmy admits to in writing when he says, I've changed. I've logged out of all your stuff. I've deleted this app. Jimmy out of his mouth says, it's gone. I'm going to change. So there's no rebutting this or denying that he was stalking her and being insecure while they were in a relationship. Go ahead and continue.
like I said previously, that he would reach out to contacts in my phone. A month later, he would check my phone bill and he would bring it to me as evidence as to me cheating because of the people whom he had reached out to.
So he was trying to catch your ass and then forgot he was trying to catch your ass.
Exactly.
That sounds like some Jimmy stuff to do.
Yeah, but he didn't have anything to actually get mad at me about, so he created a false reality. And he created a false narrative in his head, and he used that to excuse his bad behavior because he could never take any accountability for the things that he had done.
Yeah.
Like I said, the cameras in our home, watching me.
Were you allowed access to the cameras or just him?
No.
So he had the password, he had the cameras on his phone, you didn't have no access to him. That's a pattern.
Yeah. And like I said, it was things that I gave up in order to prevent a fight, in order to stay safe. I would like to include a small list of some of the people whom he had accused me of cheating on him with,
Okay.
which did include some of his family members, including his brother, his brother-in-law, his brother-in-law's brother, and several of his friends whom were groomsmen in our wedding.
Damn. Do they look like? Never mind. Not time for jokes. I tell inappropriate jokes sometimes. That's a lot of brothers.
You're good.
Go ahead.
He screamed at me almost every single day of our marriage. He would find some excuse to scream at me or start a fight almost starting by 10 a.m. And then he would lock himself in our bedroom until 11 p.m. every single day. While I was the sole caregiver for our daughter.
Okay.
He would scream at me if I tried to put her to bed before he had had his time with her, forcing me to keep her awake until late at the night. And by the end of the marriage, he had a nickname that he would often refer to me as. My legal name is Caitlin, and there's a word that starts with a C that he would...
Yeah.
No, I'm going to... that he would call me Lynn in public often. He stated that he was not in control of his emotions, so I was responsible for keeping him calm.
Yeah.
He would use this as an excuse as to why it was my fault that he was angry with me.
I think that's what's most frustrating for us when we see, like the video that he posted yesterday and the one before where he's like, oh, she was toxic too. You don't know what she did to me. Like, it makes me sick knowing my wife's story and how he's trying to say that like anything she did was justification for any of the things that he did.
Let me ask you, big dog, right? And be honest, right? Is she toxic? You guys been married how long?
Well, a little over 3 years now.
Like, I'm talking about healthy toxic, but like,
I mean,
she out here
like,
screaming in your face, putting her hands on you.
We truly have the best communication I have.
We get embarrassed sometimes when we're with other couples because it's like, I know that they see what we have and they're like, fuck, we don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, like I've never felt so close and so strongly bonded to someone as when we met. And like from then on, it's only gotten stronger. She is the best mother to. I brought in a daughter from my previous marriage, and I could not ask for a better or more supportive mother. And now we have a child of our own between each other, and like between all three of our kids, there is no stepbrothers or step siblings.
Yeah.
It's no stepdad, stepmom. It's we are all mom and dad. This is our family. There's no separation. There's no different. We are just a unit that all works together. And it's just like, even my mom is like, I can't believe how you guys have just taken in each other's kids, and it's like they were born to you. You know, there's just no difference in how you parent. And so to even imagine this woman as toxic, I mean, the biggest argument we've ever gotten in was I was upset that she was making my daughter focus on homework one night because like I was a bad student, you know, and like I'm just like, you know, this sucks. Like nobody wants to do homework, and she's always got the best interest with everything. So it's like I knew that it was a losing argument when I started, but like that's literally the biggest argument we've ever had was, you know, and so the idea of her as toxic, it makes me sick that anybody could even think that, like that narrative or whatever is being pushed. Like it makes me sick.
Okay. All right, go ahead and continue, Caitlin.
Okay, so now I'm going to go into some of the physical elements.
Yeah.
I think like most people, and from what I've seen from other people on here, is that it started small. Things that I could excuse or I could explain away.
Such as like what?
Throwing drinks in my face, spitting in my face, yanking me out of bed at 5 a.m. in the morning to do chores while he then got back into bed to sleep. There was an incident where he ripped off the mirror from the vehicle and threw it at the front windshield of his vehicle because he thought that I improperly packed the diaper bag. I was in the vehicle, his daughter was in the vehicle. He would drive recklessly while we were in the car. And like I said, while I was in the car, while his daughter was in the car, grabbing me by my hair. I had long hair and I cut it all off, cut 8 inches off my hair because my hair length became a vulnerability. He would shove me. He would drag me across the floor by my hair. He would shove me, throw me down on the ground. He broke my personal belongings. Anything nice that I had worked hard to save up for would get broken. The day that I left him, we had a disagreement because I had to go to work and our daughter woke up not feeling well and she needed to be seen by a doctor. And he went at me. And
What do you mean, verbally?
No, physically. He went to go put his hands around my neck. Our 3-year-old daughter at that time stood up and got in front of him and said, "Stop yelling at my mommy. Stop hurting my mommy." And
Just because she had to go to the doctor, or am I missing?
yeah, it was 2020. It was during COVID. He had a paranoia, an irrational fear of the disease. I had to go to work. He had called out that day because COVID was a thing and he was not going to work at the time.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, I have to go to work so that I can pay for things. Like we have to pay for our housing. We have to pay for our bills." And he was not going to work. And he said that he was not comfortable going to the doctor and taking her there. so he got aggressive with me, and my daughter, who was 3, like I said at the time, tried to intervene. And when she did, he swung at me, missing me, almost hitting her. And he said to me, "If you say another word, I'm going to break your fucking jaw." The part that I still don't understand about what happened with it was then after this huge life-changing interaction, he just walks away and goes to the bathroom. It meant nothing to him. And at that moment, I used to refer to it as the light switch moment. It was a fight or flight reflex. And I grabbed my daughter. We didn't have shoes. We didn't have my purse. I grabbed my daughter and I grabbed my keys. And I ran out of our home.
While he was in the bathroom?
While he was in the bathroom, I ran to my car and I left. And I never went back or looked back.
Pause. At the end of all of this, chat, you will hear Jimmy admit in his own words that this happened as well. Go ahead.
My next section that I have is about the essay.
Go ahead and take your time, breathe.
It took me for a while, until after I let him, to realize what he had done to me was abuse. It wasn't in the typical way that most people would think of when they say that. Like I said, he was paranoid. He had this delusion that I was cheating on him. And on multiple occasions while paranoid, thinking that I was cheating on him, he would accuse me of having a secret boyfriend who was somehow controlling me sexually. He would force himself on me to do inspections of my body internally. He would take his camera flashlight and force open my legs and inspect me for things like a camera or a personal pleasure object that he believed somebody could be using a remote control on me and getting off on it.
Okay.
While he was present.
Did you consent to any of this? Consent to saying, yeah, go ahead, babe, check my UI for cameras and weird stuff. Or did you just...
I didn't have a choice. There was no choice. It was...
Was he aggressive in these interactions? Like when you're being like, when you would fight and argue and he flex up on you and stuff, like, was it that type of aggression?
It was... I was truly scared of what was going to happen if I denied him access to me.
Yeah.
It was... I knew that what he was capable of doing to me if I said or tried to stop him was way worse than what he was putting me through in those moments.
For the record, chat, there are also emails, letters, and Jimmy never denying any of this that I will go over with you for the common sense people listening at the end of this. You're okay.
Yeah. Like I said, that one took me a while to process and to realize that he was not entitled to my body. That he was not entitled to do those things to me. I didn't need to prove that to him because I did nothing to make him think that.
Yeah.
It was a narrative he created and then forced me to participate in. As far as after I left him. When I finally left him, the divorce took close to 2 years for a no contest divorce. I spent over $60,000 to divorce him, and he never even hired an attorney to argue any of it.
You could tell that in his emails to you when all he's concerned about is his career. And when you tell him, like, please stop, or I'm going to talk and I'm going to tell everybody what you've done. And he tries to say, like, okay. You know what I mean? He's been scared. You guys will see later why he's been so scared and why he speaks so highly of her all the time.
He should.
All the time. I've seen him. He speaks highly of you. His friend Gordo was saying he speaks highly of her. And but you don't
seen the
see
message he just sent
either
me.
where she says, please stop, like for the last time, or I'm going to start talking.
You should
And
ask.
Jimmy does not want that.
You should ask him, that Gordo guy, what message he just sent me was.
Don't even, Gordo messaged you?
Oh yeah.
Just hold that. Don't even talk about him. I'll get it from you. Email that to me.
I will. But
When you ran and you grabbed your daughter after he tried to strike you and he almost hit his kid, where'd you go?
I was very fortunate where I have an incredibly supportive family who I went to my family's home.
Yeah.
I had to have safe houses that he did not know the location of, and that consisted of coworkers, friends, people that he didn't know where they lived, in case I needed to run again. And so for that, like,
There was an incident when you guys were living with you guys' mutual friend too. Were you roomed up with somebody else?
no.
Your roommate? Did you have a roommate? Who's the lady in the court paper that came in?
That was my mom.
Oh, that was your mom. Oh. Damn. Thought it was a roommate, my bad. So your mom had to stop him and get in the middle of him trying to be aggressive and hit on you as well, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, like I said, I thankfully I had a very good tribe of people around me who gave me gave me protection. And I know that in a lot of other scenarios, women do not have that and do not have access to that. So I am very grateful for those women who supported me and for those people who offered me that safety and that out. And I truly believe I would not be here today without them.
Amen. And shout out to your husband too, being a good dude. I know it takes a lot, big dog, dealing with that. You're a better man than me. I've got communications from them where this man actually communicates with Jimmy in a perfectly reasonable, respectful manner when she's tired of Jimmy not respecting her boundaries. So you kind of pass him to your husband and Jimmy starts respecting a real man. And I'll say every interaction I've seen with you and him is pretty respectful. It takes a big man. It takes a big man to do that because I don't know if my wife had a history like that. I'm fortunate. I don't have to deal with baby daddies or stuff like that. They're all gone. They're not involved. But if she had trauma like that, like I couldn't do it. I couldn't be at the meetups and shake hands and try to be cordial for the kids. So just pat yourself on the back, pat your husband on the back, because I don't think
she definitely pats me on the back. But I will say, because I know he's going to bring it up, I have not been nice to him in every single one of our interactions. There are definitely some times
the ones I've seen.
I spoke out the side of my mouth because when
there was the Howie Mandel incident.
Oh my God!
What Howie Mandel incident?
So I was a year and a half into my divorce process, and that's when my husband and I were dating. and I get a FaceTime call from my ex-husband.
Well, no, it wasn't TikTok Live, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a FaceTime call.
Oh, yeah.
And I just assumed he's trying to speak to his daughter.
Yeah.
We all had COVID, including our daughter, and she was in the bathtub taking a bath. And by the grace of God, I answered, and like I show my face on the screen. I never do that. Anytime he would call my phone to speak to her, I would always show her.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing to talk to him about. It was always about her. But for some reason, like I showed me, and when I answered, he was on a TikTok Live with Howie Mandel in front of thousands of people, offering me couples counseling.
Now, mind you, Howie has no idea any of the actual backstory about
Yeah.
why she had to run out of the house. But like, oh my God, you want to talk about blood boiling?
So we, like I said, I'm in his home, like, and I have my ex-husband on TikTok Live in front of thousands of people, which I never consented to
With a
be
celebrity.
on this call with a celebrity. And he's offering couples counseling, saying that he thinks that we could really work it out. And so I just like was like stunned, and I didn't know what to do. So I like bring the phone out of the bathroom, and I like bring it to my husband, and I say like, "Hey, this is happening.
What do I do?
What do I do?" And
was
he's
like,
like,
"Fucking
hang
hang
up.
Yeah.
So we hung up, and
I immediately called him less than happy.
Yeah. Understandably.
but I will say that that is an important moment, because that was the first time that we explicitly told him to never speak about us, our daughter, on this app.
Yeah.
And I said, the next time I will not be scared to say what you did to me.
We even messaged Howie. It got blocked
Because
because
he's a celebrity and he
he's a
doesn't
celebrity and it
accept
didn't even
messages
get shown through,
without,
probably, whatever. But
Yeah.
we tried to send him a message like, hey man, like
you
before
may
you,
want to take this off your page, because
before you sign on with this dude, like there's some history that you don't know about.
Well, I know somebody that knows Howie.
so this interaction was actually pretty traumatic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the first time, and that was in what, 2021, 2022?
Yeah, it was before we were even married, so.
Now I know you wanted to talk about I know you wanted to correct the narrative you've been hearing from different people like Gordo and them and Jimmy, thinking that this was all about the kids and stuff. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you can tell your side, and then we can get into some photos and stuff like that. Do you try to keep Jimmy from his daughter?
Never. She has an iPad. She has open access to him. He can contact her at any time.
That was the second
It's
question.
literally in the custody agreement that has to be the case anyway.
Yeah.
So it would be illegal for us to not honor that anyway.
You know what? I'm not even going to ask you the questions. You just go over the 5 things that is in your court order about what he needs to do to maintain contact. And you could talk about this issue that everyone is trying to twist the narrative to distract everybody from the real issue of this grown-ass man silencing her, putting his hands on her, assaulting her in front of their children, running out of the house with her children, SAing her and inserting things into her vajayjay against her will, forcing her, stalking her, cloning her phone, and keep telling me about how good of a guy this is. Well, go ahead and talk about your child.
The first thing I want to say, I understand that everybody has seen positive changes in him for the last 5 years. However, as somebody who has to work with him on difficult topics and on difficult conversations, I have consistently asked him to get help, to do better, to take accountability, and I haven't seen those things. So with my interactions with him, as far as hard conversations go, I
You
have
guys
seen
do. I'm going to attest to that. And we're going to show them. You guys have some really mature conversations. Like, I have baby mothers, and I don't think I could ever even have the conversations that y'all have, especially when he be pushing the buttons. Okay. And mind you, chat, he pushes buttons. The way you guys talk and how patient you are when you're trying to explain it, and then how he tries to twist it and then say you're twisting it. You guys will read for yourself and come to the same conclusion if you have any type of common sense. You do an amazing job trying to keep your boundary, establish it, and then, try to leave once it's crossed, even though it keeps getting. But everything that I've seen that you have shown me, and you've shown me a lot, has been you being 100% about him wanting to see his daughter and accommodate that, even make it easy for him in the times, at least in one instance that I've seen, that he backtracked and canceled on, then said he didn't cancel on. Yes, you did, Jimmy. Okay. I don't know if we're reading the same words, but so you want to talk about your child and the arrangement? You can, you don't have to, but I know it's a big deal for everybody.
I'll share some things. The first thing that I just want to address is that this narrative that's being pushed of the doting father, we have a signed custody agreement that lists 6 requirements for him to see our daughter. I'm about to read what they include. And I just want everybody to understand that this is a court order. So if he was able to accomplish these 6 things, then legally I could not prevent any sort of visitation.
And the reason that we put these 6 things on the custody agreement that he signed was because the environment that he was providing already was unsafe. The only reason we even had to get the custody agreement is because he refused to sign the paperwork for her passport, and I was being stationed overseas.
Yeah.
And so it would be, obviously, my wife and family are coming with me overseas, So we went through the process to get these things legally written down.
Yeah.
So this is verbatim from our custody agreement. Father shall provide mother with his proof of father's passport, proof of father's lease, proof of father's driver's license, proof of father's car insurance, and proof of father's passing car inspection no later than 1 week before each parenting time session as contemplated in paragraphs 4A, 4B, and/or 4C. If this proof is not provided, parenting time can be reasonably withheld until such proof is provided. The parties shall exchange copies of the minor's child's plane tickets and all other travel-related tickets for the child no later than 1 week before each parenting time session, as contemplated in paragraphs 4A, 4B, and/or 4C.
Now, with that being said, this order is not under a gag order, and it's completely legal for her to talk about and discuss as she wants to. All right, per Jimmy's signature. So technically, Jimmy doesn't have a car. Jimmy doesn't have insurance for an imaginary car. Jimmy doesn't have any of that stuff. So if you wanted to be a B word, technically he doesn't have anything coming. Correct. But I have seen instances as recently as a couple weeks ago where you are telling him, yes, we can do it. You can come see her. So Jimmy's saying that it's all her fault, and Gordo Loco, who has no business in here, saying, oh, she's a terrible mom. Technically, if that was my baby mama, she wouldn't let me see shit. Okay, back when we were beefing. All right. So the fact that you are still even trying to compliment, and you guys will see how accommodating she is, which is the exact opposite of what Jimmy is trying to tell you.
I was gonna say, if you think I'm accommodating now, I provided 100% of the transportation to and from.
I was going to get into that. You actually had a friend who agreed in court, which is cool shit. They had a friend come to court, and the judge asked her, and I guess she was made like a designated little Uber driver for cross country, where you would provide all the transportation back and forth to across the seas, right?
Well, it's in our court order that if, like, one of us is, for example, last year when I was pregnant, I couldn't travel. That we had somebody that was able to
do it for you.
Do it for us.
Yeah.
But no, I'm speaking of when we lived in the same area prior to us moving overseas. He
To
did
and from transportation
to and from transportation to
to where
his
he was staying
home.
at, and he was still would be 45 minutes late to even just walk out the door to collect his daughter. Like all he had to do was come downstairs
But
with
he
a
didn't
pair,
have a
pair of
driver's
shorts on.
license and he didn't have a vehicle that was operational.
No,
So for 2 years, every single visitation, I dropped her off and then picked her up.
instead of being a B word and saying, no, motherfucker, you got to get a car and a license.
The idea that that's the case, again, it just drives me nuts that he could slander her so much. And then as soon as she comes out and tries to say her side of the story, everybody's like, oh, what an asshole. Oh, she's out for something.
Manipulating, yeah.
Yeah,
It
well, I've
just,
seen
the
the
way he
emails.
tries to
I've
spin
seen
the
the
narrative
emails.
is just
Your
infuriating.
wife is accommodating. Okay, that the email that everyone's gonna read, the most recent one is it's pretty clear that she was like, yeah, okay, let me check and ask. And I like how you establish boundaries. Okay, and the problem is you can't establish boundaries with somebody like Jimmy or a narcissist, period, because that boundary doesn't exist for them and it's not in their control. And Jimmy hates not being in control, as you can tell from all these fucking red flags. Okay. But if I'll shut up now, and if you want to talk about your child and anything about it, go ahead.
The only other part of the narrative that I think that I would like to dispel is that, like, actually, I do have one thing I'd really like to say because I don't get angry often. It's actually an emotion that I really don't tend to feel.
Well, you're just really not comfortable. Like when she gets angry, she gets really shooken up, tears. It's a really uncomfortable emotion.
There was a recent video that I saw posted where my ex said that his biggest fear is that he won't like certain aspects of our daughter's personality. That's his biggest fear in life, that our daughter's going to be an atheist liberal who doesn't like Trump.
Daddy issues.
With daddy issues, that was it. My first thought was, wow, what a luxury that is his first thought. And that is his biggest concern.
How old is
Because
your guys' daughter?
she's 9.
Yeah.
And she wants to be an environmental attorney, has already researched which law school she's interested in going to.
She's super, super smart.
And she loves nature and the environment and cares about protecting them. And that makes her a atheist liberal.
Yeah.
But I said, what a luxury, because my biggest fear for the last 9 years is that my ex-husband is going to come after me and my children.
Yeah. If there was an end goal in mind, what would you want? What would you want to come from this?
Peace.
I think if he had a more stable environment and we could trust him to do,
It's not even about that. Like, my whole purpose of doing this was
oh yeah,
I do not care about his business. I do not care about what he's doing on TikTok. Truly, if he had continued, granted, I find his videos cringy. I find them repulsive. I find them racist and other things. But his comedy is his comedy. If he had stuck to his comedy, I never would have said a word. But
You
him
kind of just
sharing,
want him to leave you and your kids or your marriage and use
I
it.
want him to stop talking about the divorce. I want him to stop talking about my daughter. I want him to stop putting my daughter in TikTok videos without my consent.
he's never put
That's
her. I
illegal.
think
He's never put her face in a video. He has had her reading off things in the chat when I have explicitly said, like, I'm not comfortable with that.
and asking for people to donate.
Asking for people to donate.
I agree, Wally.
I think it's super. It's not good parenting.
I think that would be something you guys would have to go to court for, and like
I agree.
specifically
Oh,
have
yeah,
a judge
for sure.
order like no TikToks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if he had just stuck to his comedy, I never would have said a word.
Yeah.
But it was when he started getting into this divorce and
Woe is me.
woe is me, and my life got really hard when my wife left me 5 years ago
Yeah.
without admitting to any of the abuse and any of his part in it, without admitting to the things that he did to me, acknowledging them or taking accountability for them. I have
But
been
that's
asking
one of the
for,
things I'm going to talk about when I kick you guys out of the boxes is his lack of acknowledgement. That's what I do.
I've been asking for accountability for 5 years, and
Yeah.
I've never gotten any of it.
Well, silence is accountability, but he only shows it to you. He doesn't show it to TikTok. He doesn't show it to TikTok. And I'll get into that when I start doing my stuff in this live. But listen, nobody should be. I don't want to go too much into your custody stuff because that's between y'all, and that's not the point.
That's not the point.
The thing is, you have been assaulted by a man multiple occasions. You've been spit in the face by a man on multiple occasions. This man has access to his child 24/7. He could pick up the phone like I do every single day at 7:30 and call both my kids in California, who one of them I'm beefing with, my 13-year-old. I'm beefing with her ass right now. She is a whole teenager right now. But you still have a choice as a father to pick up the fucking phone and get those calls done. You don't need your mom's permission to do that. I'll let them talk about that. But this woman was assaulted, spit in the face, stalked, harassed, and then physically violated to see if she was stretched out or there was something hiding in her hoo-ha against her fucking will by a fucking maniac. And that's what this is about. That's what there needs to be accountability for. Now, do I think that Jay is the same person? I don't know. The only time I've heard his voice from 5 years ago, he sounded pretty intoxicated to me. And you guys will hear him up to an extent because I am going to respect what you said about not playing the part where your child is screaming at her daddy on the phone to shut up and stop yelling at mommy again while he knew she was on the phone listening. Okay, but I'm going to respect that and not play that for them. But nobody deserves to go through that in life at all. I personally think that you've been a stand-up girl, okay, stand-up woman. I think you got a good dude by your side. I'm glad that you guys have found peace there and that you have blended your families nice. You know what I mean? I like how you still give Jay an opportunity to be the biological father. I really do. And that's not the thing he's trying to say, but I know it. And I think it's commendable despite what you've been through. You have been through a lot. You know, you're better than a lot of women who, if they had went through these things, it would be no access, cut off. But I feel like you do put the baby first. You do put her first. And I think that you do as well, sir. So kudos to you as well for stepping up and showing up every fucking day. Okay? I think you guys are dope. Okay? And I'm glad that I was able to give you a platform, no matter how many people get mad or how many accounts of mine get banned, that you got to tell your story instead of everybody just listening to the ramblings of an idiot. All right? And taking it at face value. All right? Now, you guys want to leave because this is where I turn into the boogeyman. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank
welcome,
you for
you
your
guys.
time.
God bless
Thank you for everything. Thank you for giving us this voice.
No problem, man. All right? Keep raising them good.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, kick them out, chat. Everybody give her a follow. Now you can turn the chat on. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Now, just a question This ain't a remote. This ain't a black remote or a white remote. Just a question for everybody in the chat. Let's hold a poll. You know, I don't want to influence anybody, but ladies and men, do you think it's okay to physically violate your wife against her will to see if she's been tampered with? I thought so. Is that considered SA? I actually looked up the statute. It is absolutely, and there's no fucking statute of limitations on it. If she wanted to, she could forward this to the proper authorities and they would investigate. It's actually a felony. Your bodies are your temples. And regardless if you're married or not, but there's more, bro. I see you texting. There's more. Okay? Putting your hands, pulling hair, spitting on face. I don't know if spitting is a crime in that state, okay? But pulling hair, dragging women across the floor by their freaking hair, swinging on people, striking people, almost hitting your child. Everybody's been trying to make this about custody and someone showing up. This lady has been made out to be a villain, like she's keeping her child from him, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. I don't want to pull up his stuff, give him a reason to fucking ban the live, but that's what he's saying, right? He's saying that this is all about optics and vulnerabilities, right? All optics and vulnerabilities. Optics. She don't let him see. She don't let him see her, right? He's not allowed to call, right? Is that what Jimmy said? She doesn't let him call, right? This is where you guys get to tell me what you think. Who twists the narrative here? It starts like a good email. I was actually impressed, right? It starts with a good email. He's well worded. Sounds good, right? She says, let me have a conversation with her. Because if you guys don't know, Jimmy's daughter does not want to see him. You're not going to cross-examine fucking wild. Okay? She talks to her and tells him, you know what? We're headed to VA too. So yeah, we could do that. These are her daughter's conditions because her daughter does not want to be around Jimmy. No, I might have them screenshotted in different orders. In this series of communications, she has not yet said he can't see her. She's tried to make it easier. Like, yeah, well, you know what? We're going to Virginia too. And at this point, Jimmy's still being reasonable. This whole conversation gets twisted by Jimmy. But this doesn't fit his narrative. But now, she doesn't like that you hurt me in front of her, that you abused me. Her only memories of us together were of her and I alone hiding from you and screaming all the time. Now, I want to ask a question before I show you something else. For the men in here, if you're a man, give me a hell yeah in the chat. We're getting to that. If you're a man, give me a hell yeah in the chat. You guys, we got some men in here. I want to know something. If you had a baby mother and y'all split for whatever reason, okay? Right? Y'all split up for whatever reason. And you were constant, and your baby mama messaged you and said, Jimmy, you raped me. You did this to me. You beat me. What's the first thing you're going to text back? I mean, if you didn't do it, what's the first thing you're going to text back? What are you talking about? Why are you saying that? I didn't do that. Are you trying to set me up? Something, right? Right? That's the normal thing for a man to say when somebody says some weird ass shit like that. Please hold. One second, people. Live didn't end. 1 second. Live didn't end. Live didn't end. 1 second. Live didn't end. Yeah, let me make sure. I had to screenshot the video, okay? And like I said, if they give me permission to post the whole video, I don't really want to. His daughter is in the video. So you understand? So I have to sit there, okay? I have to sit there and be careful. I will respect her privacy not to put their child, and the child is in the video, okay? But I got a screenshot. Let me double check it. Let me double check it. So, I think I got it. This confirms the first thing, where he was stealing her Adderall as well. Okay? Turn the comments off so I can read. Okay? Oh, I should have went this one first. Hold on. Where did this start? Okay, boom. Jimmy says this is a document that would not only show that I'm attempting to fix myself, but I'm attempting to make the best environment for my family. This is a plan that I'm establishing for my wife. The purpose of the proposed arrangement is to allow my wife to see that I'm doing everything in my power to better myself as a person. A father and a husband. At times, this may seem to be very unorganized or may come off as rambling, but unfortunately, with the circumstances at hand, my thoughts feel very scattered, and I'm really just doing everything in my power to make us work, to make this work, and to give my wife the life and best version of myself that she deserves. July 14th, the day you decided to make a difference. It was around 8 a.m. and I was woken up to Caitlin informing me that Olivia's eye was looking pretty bad. Unfortunately, I don't do very well in these types of situations. My way of coping with stressful situations like this is to try and implement as much stress management as possible. In the back of my mind, I knew that if Olivia was worried about her eye, a calm environment was the best thing for her. When she came into the room, I informed Caitlin that she probably needed to call her work and inform them that there was something serious going on, so he wanted her to handle it. She then began to get worked up, letting me know that she couldn't miss work. I felt myself starting to get very frustrated, thinking that she was putting her work before her family. What were you putting before? What did you have to do? What were you busy doing, Jimmy? I've read from multiple sources that pink eye was one of the first symptoms of COVID. This is one thing that instantly sends my body into a fight or flight mode. I made every attempt possible to try and control myself and keep the situation as calm as possible. I then ended up getting worked up and yelling. This caused Caitlin to take Olivia and leave. Well, that's not what really happened. As I sit here typing this, I can feel my heart begin to hurt. This is something that's been ongoing during the summer duration of this pandemic. Around 9:30, I went to take my Adderall prescription. I noticed that it was no longer in the medicine cabinet that we keep it in. I called Caitlin at her work and she informed me that she had taken it. I asked her to bring it back. At this point, I was incredibly worked up. I called her work multiple times in an attempt for her to bring it to me. Around 5 p.m., I received a FaceTime call from Caitlin. She had informed me that if she were to come back to me and continue to allow me to see Olivia, that she had prepared a list of things that I would need to abide by if we were going to make things work. That list included the following. I am to provide proof that I was seeking therapy to deal with my anger issues. I am to provide proof that I am actively going to work to have a source of income. I am to refrain from logging into her social media and cell phone. Admission of him stalking her phone. I'm to discontinue feelings and check. My biggest fear today is that you've already made your mind up and that you are already set on discontinuing a marriage, partnership, and love with me. I've called a therapist this morning and have an appointment scheduled for tomorrow at 9. I've already laid out my clothes for work and I'm going to work today, despite my anxiety, fear of my heart, and COVID. As I type this, I'm taking your social media off of my phone. I'm not logging in and look actually been. I started this document in an attempt to cover my. I'd like to take this time to give you the opportunity to add anything else to our arranged agreement that may be best for us. Agreements that can prove to you that I can be the husband you deserve. I was going to continue to write and put everything in black and white so I was covered. Meaning he was going to lie. The whole top part of this document's a lie. You just left. No, you swung on her in front of your child. That is no longer what so blatantly matters here. The only thing that matters is me keeping you. The only thing that matters is giving you everything you deserve. I love you. I'm sorry. And then she says, I appreciate your letter. But since we're documenting the events of the day, I want us to be able and honest and open about it. During the initial incident, her eyelid was swollen and discolored. The coloring of her eye was white, not pink. I asked you to take her to the doctor, which you said you were unable to do. The medication which I took to work and you asked me to bring home was mine. It was the Adderall prescription picked up on 7/13/2020, filed for me, written by my doctor. I love you too and also want what's best for our family. I just want to stop hiding what's going on in our relationship. And I don't want our number one goal to be to try to make the other person look bad. My number one priority right now is providing our child with a stable, safe, loving environment, which she has not had in a long time. No 3-year-old should have to stand in front of their mother to protect her. This is not a situation I want to be in, but I will continue to fight for my family. I actually really appreciate this dialogue and hope you continue updating me on, I can't read the rest because of the screenshots in the way. So you guys will have to do that. Yeah, 1 second. Boom. You can turn the comments back on. Now there is a video of Jimmy calling during this whole thing where she tells Jimmy, you R'd me, you assaulted me, you did this. And all Jimmy can sustain is, I'm sorry for doing these things to you. Eventually, the child comes in here, and that's why I don't want to play it, okay? And says, stop yelling at mommy, daddy. Jimmy realizes that the daughter's in the room, okay? And makes a comment you can't really hear, right? But then just keeps yelling at his wife and doing some narcissistic ass fucking red flag fucking gaslighting shit. Go ahead, leave me. I know you want to leave me. You've been doing this. Or go find someone without me. It's cool. Yada, yada, yada. All that other bullshit that all you guys are used to. If she gives me permission, I will edit the video, try to keep as much of the baby out as possible, and I will post the video. Unless tomorrow I see accountability, okay? Period. All right? You are not allowed as a man to fucking force yourself inside your wife with whatever body part to see. Okay? Period. You're not allowed to hit women. Okay? You're not allowed to do that shit. You're not allowed to scare someone so much that they just let you do that shit to them. Okay? And some people are going to sit there. If you're my friend, I highly encourage you to stop. Okay? But it's not okay. And real people will understand that. Cloning your wife's phone, stalking her location, and being a fucking weirdo is not okay. Spreading your wife's legs and violating her to see if she's been tampered with or is hiding stuff is fucking not okay. Hitting your wife and women is not okay. And here's the big part. Wally, you make a good point, brother. You make a good point. Jimmy, if any of these things are untrue, okay, will offer you both the same thing that I offer everybody else. I'm going to post a video that shows him saying, like, he did this. He did this. See, if a man asks, like, I know if I ask my boy Wally, yo, Wally, if you did it, Wally gonna say, hell no, I didn't do that. Multiple messages, multiple fucking videos where text messages are being shown where she says, you R'd me. And Jimmy just says, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. That's an admission. Period. You know how I do it, Jimmy. 10 bands. Fly out to El Paso. Me and you are still cool. I don't want to beat you up or anything. I'll take you to the lie detector test. Pass the lie detector test, I'll come on here just as loud and say Jimmy passed the test. Okay? Period. That part. But this was about this. I'm going to post one more video with the correlating documents that I'm telling you out of my mouth I've seen. I'm just going to edit the baby out of them. Okay? I'm going to edit the baby out of them. Out of respect for both Jimmy and her. All right? So, toodles. What do you guys think? I don't want to tell you what to believe. Okay? Who can? I'm not. Listen, do I think Jimmy's the same person he was 5 years ago? I don't. I don't. I don't. I think Jimmy's an entertainer. Okay? But I got some stuff. I'm gonna post it. And if Jimmy wants to make 10 racks, fly out here. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Period. This should be an easy one to prove. Okay? Now, it's that simple. All right? Well, here's the thing. Okay? I want to clear up one thing that has nothing to do with Jimmy or none of that. All right? I see Reddit saying, Jimmy and AllMoney share gifters. That's why he's doing this. Or he inserted himself. No. I got tagged a bunch of times. I owe my platform to the people who have built my platform for me. The people that show up for me every day, supporting me, loving on me, that have made it all this possible for me. My house, everything, all the success. Okay? I owe it to them. So when my people, the 7, there were 7 of them, say, hey, Anthony, can you look into this because we don't want to fuck with him if this is true in a message? I'm going to do what my people want me to do. And then once I see something, my conscience is not going to let me not talk about it. If you guys notice something, Jimmy said something. He said, why does he want me to come in his box? I don't. When have I ever exposed somebody or did a live like this and I let the fucking guy in the box? Never. Or the girl. You see me letting Ash Trevino in the box, Adriel? I don't let nobody in the fucking box. I offered Jimmy the box to do it with me, to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't let nobody in the fucking box except for the victim or somebody who's telling their story. That's it. That's why I offered it to you, Jimmy, if you're watching. Okay? But when my people ask me to do something that support me daily, I am going to do it. Period. Even when we have conflicting things. If my boy Wally asks me to do something, Wally supports me. Okay? Anybody else that supports me asks me to do something for them. I owe something to these people that have helped change my life. Period. Okay? Now, with that also being said, this little thing, I want to say something now. Okay? And people are going to get mad. Every time I do one of these things, people come out of the woodworks with stories. Doing things like this give other people courage to speak up. Okay? Right now, somebody is sending me something related to Jimmy, okay? And Snapchat and recordings, and it's not good either. It's definitely not good. Okay? So, what am I supposed to do? Ignore the shit that just got sent to me that's totally different than what I just spoke about? But no. When I see creators, and I'm saying I have not verified this, okay? All right? No, we're talking a whole bit different issue, Wally. Different issue. Okay? Different issue. All right? Talking to underage minors, I'm going to investigate it. I'm not going to let it slide. I'm going to look at it. And if it ends up being you, I am going to be back on some Jimmy shit. Okay? Period. That way nobody's surprised and thinks that I'm just picking on Jimmy. I will tell you right now, I have something, it's credible, it's lengthy, okay, allegedly, but if you see me come back, you'll know what it's about. Okay? Period. All right? Other than that, I don't want to hear shit. For everybody that don't like me speaking, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. But when I hear this shit and see the shit and watch the video that I watched and hear Jimmy's mouth, I can't sit there and just shut the fuck up. My people want answers. My people got it. It just so happens I got a big voice. And when I come on here, the amount of hate I get, instead of the person who was punching and fucking pulling his girl's hair and dragging her across the carpet, is fucking insane. It's fucking insane. You guys got some moral code issues. All right, we're not talking about court stuff and shit like this. All right? I'm gonna speak up for what's right, and I don't give a fuck what none of y'all think. Okay? None of y'all. Not a single fucking one of you. I'm gonna continue to be a voice for the fucking voiceless, and any victim that runs across me that has a story to tell that's being suppressed will always have a voice here, whether you fucking bozos like it or fucking not. None of you TikTok motherfuckers scare me. Good night.